It's been a while since I've done one of these kind of reviews, but here I'm back. It's humid as fuck. God damn it, I'm doing one. Alright, is that a dog? Also, I do apologize. When I was getting my screenshots of this movie, for some reason, it kept cutting off the lower third. This movie wasn't filmed in like an insane aspect ratio. It's just the lower third got a little cut off. But anyway, we can still figure out this shitty movie. So this movie starts off with a beginning text thingy, which I'll read to you. No one really knows how the power came to be. Not even the Book of Damnation recorded its beginning. Not recorded, well, what, okay. But those who mastered it have always been hunted. In the middle of the 17th century, many escaped the brutal witch hunting in England and France by coming to America. As the brutal persecution of those with the power spread throughout Massachusetts, the families of Ipswich, which is, I had a lisp out, been terrible, formed a covenant of silence. And for 300 years, I could read, it has kept them safe. Until now. Which actually, right after that part, Rob Zombie's More Human, White Zombie, excuse me, More Human Than Human starts playing. So you're like, ooh, it's getting kind of sexy in here. So we got the title, The Covenant, or The Oven. There's a bag underneath my foot. We come upon whatever CGI thing this is, background, because, no, okay. This looks like Twilight. You know, like that kind of color scheme the first movie had. There's three guys. There's Taylor Kitsch. There's Taylor Kitsch with his Taylor Kitsch known long hair, which, you know, Taylor Kitsch is in a movie. This is not a good movie. There's main love boy interest, and then there's other brunette. Like, this kid really doesn't matter. He's just the fourth kid. He really doesn't matter. You already know they're special. They're high school boys, but they're all like 37. You know, it's like that whole thing. So they have the power to jump off a cliff, you know, and land perfectly. They don't do superhero pose. They just land like softly on their feet like a kitty. We have our main girl, blonde, and then, you know, racially ambiguous girl who usually plays that friend in a lot of movies. She's always like that, like, oh, you're kind of racially ambiguous, so we're gonna have you as like the friend, you know, and not just like the friend, you're the annoying friend. So you're always the friend who is just like, I don't know, why do I have this voice? Where are we going? I don't think that's a good idea, you know. So like the Anna Kendrick of this movie. Okay, I was trying not to make too many Twilight references, but here we go. So of course, these girls meeting Sebastian Stan, they're like, oh my god, it's Sebastian Stan, he's really cute. Because he's Sebastian Stan. The blonde girl, she's new in town, because that's how all these movies are. She's new in town, you know, she's got her racially ambiguous friend, and then she's like, oh my god, cute boy Sebastian Stan. She's like, alright. Someone's gonna get pregnant. This party is happening like in the middle of a quarry or something. I don't know. I don't party. I never partied, so I don't know what happened in high school, because fuck should I know? You know, like I stayed at home, so I don't know. Anyway, so guy at DJ booth is like, hey, the cops are coming. You guys should probably vacate. So they're running through the Twilight Woods to get to their car, and they're trying to, you know, like, vacate the premises, because cops are coming, alright? So then blonde girl and her friend are like, oh my god, my car's not starting. And then the fourth guy in the group of guys is Nick Carter here. Kind of looks like Nick Carter back in the day. And he's just like, oh yeah, I know a thing about cars. And all the other guys are like, don't do it, man. Don't do it. And he's like, I'm not gonna do it. And you're like, what is he gonna do? We just saw these guys float down on a fucking, you know, quarry. What is he gonna do? Anyway, he does the glowy eye thing, you know, that apparently all these kind of guys have a power of in high school. But yeah, so he does the glowy eye thing, and her car starts, and she's like, oh my god, you're so good, thank you so much. And he's like, don't mention it. The guys get caught by the cops. Not really caught, but they're being chased by the cops. And so they're trying to, like, you know, evade the cops. So they're all like, we all gotta do it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, we gotta all turn demon-eyed. Okay, so they all turn demon-eyed, cause, you know, again, it's gonna explain to us something, you know, I guess it's the power that they have. So once they're demon-eyed, actually they're able to launch the car in the air, all Harry Potter-like, so that's cool. The cops are just like, where did they go? they're like, oh my god, they must have drove off the cliff. And they're like, there's no way, they're dead. Oh, well, bye, you know, kids. So while the cops are still looking for the car, like, over the edge, they're like, guess they're dead. Should we call backup? I don't know. Let's go have a sandwich. All of a sudden, the boys just land the car right behind them, like, whoa, music's blasting because we're rebellious teenagers, you know. And they're like, oh my god. And the cops are like, what the fuck just happened? Back at the school, which, you know, part of the building you can see, this school is just, wow, that's a lot of white money there. And how, like, look at this fucking, like, just look at this shit. Just look at this shit. Like, okay, this is a school, like, God, fuck off Hogwarts, you know, like, alright, this is your school. Switch to mansion because these witchy boys, I guess, you know, they're in a long line of white money. Let's go a little closer now. Let's go in there. Look at that fucking, like, staircase in that house. Jesus Christ, it's like Haunting of Hill House. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, that's a whole lot of house, you know? And you know this kid's gonna inherit that fucking house and he's gonna throw, like, parties and rape girls and stuff, you know? So, she's exposition mom. So when the boy comes back home and he's like, hey, Ma, how are you doing? And she's like, oh, hey, honey, you know, you're almost 18. And it's like, oh, we're gonna have that talk. But apparently she gives, like, the explanation that your powers start developing at 13. So I'm guessing puberty. And then apparently at 18, you ascend. So she's like, honey, you're almost 18. You're gonna ascend soon. And he's like, I know. And I'm sitting there going, what does this mean and why do I need to care? Anyway, so one of the kids at the party is found dead. He's got that hooray for socks look on his face. And anyway, so of course immediately everyone's thinking it's gotta be, you know, the witchy boys because they cause trouble, like, you know, flying their car. So Blonde Girl does the shower scene. And, you know, she's in this huge communal shower all alone. Okay. And then she comes out of it with just a towel. And this is something I never understand when it comes to movies and some people in real life. If you're using a communal shower, why aren't you fucking bringing your clothes with you? I never fucking understand it with people. You're using a communal shower. I get it if it's in your room or whatever, you know? But you're in a spot where you're in the shower, then you still gotta walk 10, like, outside and then 10 feet to your room. And I'm just gonna walk around in a towel. My room's just right over there. It's just right over there. I'm just gonna walk around in a towel. Bitch, dry your ass, put on some fucking clothes, and then go back to your room. So you're now like, oh no, my towel. Like, fuck off. And then there's Invisible Man, you know. He's there, and it's like, oh, creepy, bad touch. Okay, someone's being spied on in the shower. That's not gross at all. So she's walking through the hallways, which don't look that much different than how they looked earlier when, you know, Sebastian Stan dropped her and girl off. But fine, it's still dark and spooky. She's there like, my towel, everyone's asleep, my towel. Love interest boy has like a moment. He has like a fucking, you know, Final Destination moment where he drives, he's about to hit a truck, and then his car explodes into a bajillion pieces, and then is put back together because of his powers, I'm guessing. And I can imagine what that truck driver went through. He was just like, oh my god, I'm about to hit this car! Ah! What? So that car went, and then it went, and then that trucker kills himself, you know, because he's just like, I don't know how to deal with this. So, the next day after weird, creepy shower encounter stuff, Blonde Girl meets up with love interest boy, and he's kind of like, hey, I need to run some errands. Do you want to come with me? And she's like, oh my god, sure, I love running errands. And you're like, do you really? They did it on purpose, of course, because it's like, oh my god, get with him. I'm schwitzing like crazy. It's 90 degrees. They drive down like this kind of, you know, rustic kind of road. All I'm thinking is like, wonder if she's thinking she's gonna get killed. Anyway, they happen upon like this old ass house and she's like, what are we doing here? And he's like, oh, it's fine. This is where like old groundskeeper used to live. You know, like far away from our house. Our groundskeeper lives here. And you know, I just come by every so often just to kind of give him stuff. And it's like, that's nice of you. This doesn't seem suspect at all. He goes in there and freaking, I guess Bill Nighy, you know, his old hand from Underworld is there. But apparently Old Man Hands actually is Old Man because it's actually the boy's father. Because I think they were like trying to insinuate that the dad used his powers too much, so now he's so much older. Because as you saw, his mom was just like, I guess, mom age, and then he is a walking corpse. So it's kind of like, heed these words, see how your father was. You will soon be non-attractive. Don't do it. Looks are everything. So after running the errands that they do, they all go to this bar that serves their high school asses, but they don't drink beer, so it's like, oh, it's okay that they're there. It's just really funny because they all go up and they're like, hey, I'll get 2. And you're thinking they're going to be handed beer, but they're all handed, like, bottles of Coke, which is, like, really funny. So, like, the movie's like, hey, these kids are cool. They go to the bar, but they don't underage drink. They sip on Coke. Just fits in like crazy. Oh. Anyway, Sebastian Stan is also there. And they're all kind of like, they don't understand why he's tagging along, but they're like, fine, I guess, you know, kind of thing. Taylor Kitsch, of course, because, you know, he's part of the group, he's there. He's got to have, you know, his sleeveless shirt because he's Taylor Kitsch. He's got to be like, guys, remember, I'm Taylor Kitsch. Slowly but surely, you know, everyone's like, I got to take off my shirt, too, to show off my guns. How many fucking SUVs does this house have? Okay, sorry. So, of course, like, every white girl, whenever, you know, Joan Jett's I Love Rock and Roll comes on, they're always like, oh my god, I love this song, and start pulling, like, their boys, like, I love this song, you know, and the guy's like, okay, fine, you know, and then she's like, I'm dancing, you know, because they all do that thing where they just shimmy their shoulders. Outside of the bar, the boys have, like, a scuffle with, you know, some other boys, and they're all like, hey, you boys with sleeveless shirts on. I don't like it. Makes me think things. I have gay thoughts. I'm upset. And so the Nick Carter character is like the bad boy, so he never wants to like hide that he has powers. He always likes to show off and be like, I'm strong. Strong. Anyway, so the fight gets broken up, and then love interest boy, Nick Carter boy, get into an argument, and they start throwing, like, kegs at one another, and I'm so sweaty! Ah! So Sebastian Stan kind of just shows up out of nowhere, and kind of, like, is in the girls' dorm room, and causes a bunch of CGI spiders to show up. Anyway, the girl wakes up, she's like, what? CGI spiders? What was that? And the next day, you know, they're in the library, and, like, the blonde girl is just researching witches, and then the friend is like, oh my god, what are you looking up? And you're like, oh, I'm, like, really confused about these boys. She was like, hey, you know, these are, like, the boys of Ipswich and stuff like that, and there apparently supposed to be 5 of them, and the girl was kind of like, oh man, who could the 5th one be? And I'm thinking, maybe Sebastian Stan, you know, the other guy who showed up in this movie. And now, for something completely different, abs. Y'all want to see abs? Like, y'all want to see some abs, alright? So here's some abs. So, it's like, I wouldn't say a subplot, but there's just like a moment where it's like, hey, these guys are also on the swim team, and they're like really good at swimming. Like, witches, boy witches, and they're swimmers? Oh my god, like, my favorite things combined into one movie? So they have this scene where it's like Sebastian Stan's there as well, and they're like swimming against one another. A love interest boy apparently is supposed to be like the best swimmer in the school, and Sebastian Stan, who's like, I could probably do better, and they're like, no, you can't, because meh. And then he, you know, while he's swimming, his eyes glow all freaking like hazel and shit, and then they're just like, there's no way, there's something up with him, and then they go to like punch him, and they're like, haha, you beat my friend swimming, I'm upset. Even though you're also on the swim team with us. The boys are upset at Sebastian Stan because they're like, who is this kid? Who the fuck does he think he is? Blah, blah, blah. So they do the thing in so many of these movies where they decide to go to, like, the office, like, where they keep the school records and all that shit. And they're just like, we've got to, like, learn information about this kid. This also came out, like, way before, like, the internet was, like, overly used. So instead of, like, I'm gonna hack into the school system kind of shit, instead they're like, we're actually gonna go into the school and, like, go through the files, you know, papers and stuff. So, of course, like, they go in, and then they have the ability, because they can, you know, float down from a quarry, they can, like, fly, hover, I guess? Anyway, so they have their paper, and security guard's doing the security guard thing, like, burr, 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 burr. And you're thinking, like, why doesn't he look up? And it's like, why would you? Like, if you're in a job like that, do you ever think to be like, you know, you work in a library. Do you ever think like, I wonder if there's a huge spider above me? You know, like you don't really do that. You're just kind of like, anyway, anyone just fucking, anyway, whatever. I'm gonna go back to sleep, you know, broom. The boys find out that Chase, of course that's his name, Sebastian Stan's character, is already 18, and they're like, he might be the 5th one. He's probably already ascended. Oh my god. Words and phrases that I don't fucking understand. So then they're in like this cave with like, I guess the Book of Damnation, and they're having their kind of like the craft moment, but instead of being at the beach, they're in a cave, you know, because they're boys. So I guess they're like, boys are in caves, girls are at the beach. Like, what? And is there something in Taylor Kitsch's contract that he always has to fucking be on a motorcycle? Like, almost every fucking thing I've seen him in, he's on a motorcycle. Anyway, while he's on his motorcycle, he runs into Sebastian Stan, and he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna get all demon eye, and then lift you up, because that's part of my powers? I don't fucking know. And then, you know, completely, like, breaks his bike, and, you know, because he's a guy, and he's like, my bike, and I'm a god. And I'm schwitzing like crazy right now. Oh, God. So what did I write here? He could pretend to be someone else and whisper fart a body to the bed. Okay, that makes sense to this screenshot here. Chase wants Caleb, oh my god, these names, to will him his powers when he turns 18. Why? Which I totally agree with past me. What? What did I write? Oh, Caleb shows his dad to his girl. So using, oh wait, no, wait, that's the next screenshot, yep. So, okay, so yeah, the boy, love interest boy shows the blonde girl dad, like, hey look, I'm just gonna flat out tell you about powers and stuff that I have. Anyway, this is my dad, the Crypt Keeper. This is why I'm the conservative one and don't want to like use my powers like, you know, Nick Carter does or Sebastian Stan does. Because look what happened to my father. He is a corpse. So I think it's like some dance that's happening because it's a fucking movie about high schoolers. There's always a fucking dance happening. Anyway, so they're all gathered at, you know, like, love interest boy's fucking huge ass house, all in their ill-fitted suits, and they're like, and the mother's like, no, don't do this, and whatever, and the friends are like, do that, fight him, no, don't, blah, blah, blah. And the girl comes downstairs with the ugliest fucking dress. Like, this shit is not cute. Like, she got that Adore hog body thing that happened her season, you know, where like, she's got a cincher on, but she ain't cinching, so like, why are you wearing it in the first place, honey? You know? And then it was just like, oh my god, it's like when I first made a garment with everything, like, I know it's supposed to be like, this gesture, the ruching, the zhuzhing, whatever, but it just looks like it's all puckered because you can't sew correctly. You're like, like, oh god, let me go to the next one. Yeah. And it's funny because this girl has like tattoos on her back, and in some shots the tattoos are gone, and then some shots they're there again, and you're like, but yeah, open back dress where your tattoo is. Because she has like one of those like, you know, that go like, I'm like turning around like you see my fucking back, but like the ones that go like, you know, straight, you know, down like the spine, and it's like, where is it? You know, everyone's at the dance, and then, like, you know, love interest boy is like, I'm gonna go deal with things. Sebastian Stan hops on the car, as you can see, like a weird bat or something. Anyway, and then he flies, and so Sebastian Stan stole the girlfriend in her ugly dress, and now they're gonna have their final, like, third act battle scene in a barn, because what says which? Like a fucking barn. And this part, with his fucking face, I don't know how he was able to deliver this line with a straight face, because he just, like, shows up, and he goes, ooh, witchy. Oh, my ribs. And he just, dead ass, just, like, shows up, and he's just, like, standing there, and he's just like, ooh, witchy. And I'm like, oh, honey, I'm so glad you are a way better actor than this movie, and you have been hired to be part of the MCU, to show your good-ass acting chops, because, bitch, if this was, like, your thing, you would have been the next Taylor Kitsch. So anyway, lights, flash, you know, fight scene, things falling down, blah, blah, blah. Weird, like, abyss monster force bubble? I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I just remember they're like fighting, and it's a lot of camera whipping back and forth because that's how you shoot a fight scene. So when all hope is lost, and you're thinking, oh, love interest boy is not gonna win this fight, Sebastian Stan's gonna win, which I'm like, fine. Then somehow I think like he ends up getting his dad's powers, right? Yeah. So yeah, because the mom ghost sees the dad in that house over there, and it's just like, you must will the power to your son, because if the dad wills his power to his son, the dad dies, but the son gets the powers. You know, all that whatever fucking mystical stuff. Anyway, he gets the powers. He gets his Abyss Monster Hadouken Ball, and then, you know, there we go. See, there's the mom. There's the mom being like, okay, you're old. Just die already. Give your powers to your son. You know? And so then it's just like, force lightning, or whatever the hell is happening. And then the father's like, you know? And then he's defeated by the Hadouken Ball. And so he's defeated. His body is not found. The boy, you know, gets into his car with the girl. He, with his powers, fixes the windshield because it's all shattered because, you know, Sebastian Stan happened. Fixes the windshield. Leaves the scene of the crime, I guess, before he's questioned or have to go to, you know, the police station. And then, yeah, they drive off into the sunrise. And then the end. It, you know, goes sepia. And then it fucking ends with, like, the Book of Damnation in a circle thing of fire. And that's the movie. Who watched this and was like, yeah, that's my shit? Who watched that and thought, that's my shit? This is like Twilight, but with witches. Yeah.